Hi, in this video, I'm going to do an example that involves combinations and show you, one, how to do the combination, but two, how to handle it to do the simplifying without doing it on a calculator. So the situation we have here is a soccer team has 10 players, not counting the goalkeeper. The coach is going to choose 4 of these players to be midfielders. In how many ways can he choose the 4 midfielders? So we have, there are 10 players. We're choosing 4. So this is a combination that would have that notation 10C4. So out of the 10 total, we're choosing 4. What this means we have to do to kind of set up the fraction is that we're going to do 10 times 9 times 8 times 7. And we're going to, so that kind of accounts for choosing the 4 players out of the 10. But then we don't want to count the different arrangements of them. So we also need to see how many arrangements of 4 there are. So that, and then divide those out. So that means we're going to divide by 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So if we just did this as written, like multiplied everything across the numerator, multiplied everything in the denominator, we could get to the answer, but we'll have to deal with some big numbers along the way. So to make our life a little easier, hopefully, we can look to see what can cancel. So one thing I would notice is that we have a 4 and we have an 8. So I can divide both of those by 4 and make this into a 2, make this into a 1 and make the 8 into a 2. So this is just a 1 or just gone. We could kind of think of it since we have other things down there anyway. Now that that 8 is a 2, I have another 2 that I could cancel with that. So that's canceled and that's canceled. So those are both now just as if they're 1s. I also have this 3 that can divide into 9. So I can do 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So just to rewrite and kind of clean up what I have at this point, I have 10 times 3 times 7. All that's left in the denominator are 1s. So it's just over 1, which we can leave out in the end. So 10 times 3 times 7 means I'm doing, and you can do this multiplication in whatever order might be easier. So maybe I want to do 7 times 3 is 21. And then 21 times 10, when I multiply by 10, it just means put a 0 on the end. So 21 times 10 will be 210. Again, that's over top of a 1, but that means it's really just 210. So the answer is that this coach has 210 possible ways he could choose the 4 midfielders from his 10 players on the team. So that shows the example of working with a combination, but also kind of how to handle looking to simplify that fraction to make your life a little easier as far as the multiplying and dividing part. Thank you.